This week on the podcast we have
Mad Catz and Fallout 4.
Emily wants to play and football.
BloodBorne and Firewatch.
Engagement Bliss and Kitty Cat Disneyland.
Sounds like we have a very special announcement on a very special episode of the official Team DBAH Podcast number 127. Come join us, why don't you? Hello and welcome to the official Team DBAH Podcast number 127. I'm your host, Charlie Danger82, and with us tonight we have Craig.
Hello.
We have Heather.
Yo.
And we have the community manager of Team DBAH, and of course, someone with very good news this week. We have George.
Hey guys, good to be back.
Hi, George.
Hey buddy.
So, do anything cool over the weekend, George?
Yes, I did indeed, my friend. It was worth a month's length of planning, but it finally all came together to one big party. Invited friends, family from both my girlfriend's side and my side, and everyone got together, got down on one knee, proposed, shocked her for the most part, and she said yes. So no longer my girlfriend, now my fiancé.
Yay!
Shlanta, brother.
Congratulations.
Thanks,
Very,
guys.
very good. Very good. Very proud of you. I know that you were nervous about the whole thing, and I'm just so glad that everything worked out good for you.
Thanks, man. I really, really am sorry for sending all those text messages, emails, Instagram pics, and all kinds of stuff. But, you know.
It's one of the biggest days of your life, you know, where you're like, you guys are like my second family. I welcome all of them. On Saturday, I was just like, you know, it was like, you know, most of these like dweebs are like, all these like political dorks are watching like every single like thing having to do with politics and stuff. And I'm not saying that in all to make to make fun of Randall, but no, I'm just saying that all of these like
How
people
dare
are
you
like
be
have
informed?
their eyes on like these, you know, politics and everything like that. I had my Twitter like open on Saturday, constantly refreshing it, saying, "Okay, did it happen yet? Did it happen yet? Did it happen yet?"
To be fair, I didn't know what was happening.
We keep you in the dark on a lot of things.
Yeah.
For good reason.
Sorry about that. Yeah, there is a reason.
Thanks, Craig.
For reasons.
You're welcome.
At least
You're
someone's
too busy with
beautiful.
you're too busy with your parades.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
but a
Yeah,
big
a lot of
congratulations to George.
Thanks, man. A lot of secrecy was involved for it, but it was well worth it in the end.
Secrecy, Cloak and Dagger.
Very much
Like-
so.
Like the comic book.
Or the movie starring Dabny Colemen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Forgot about
Yeah,
that.
crazy shit, man.
That one kind of flew over my head, but I'll write that in my little notebook here.
No, it's called, it's a great movie, Cloak and Dagger. It was, the kid, it's all about a boy who was playing a Dungeons and Dragons, RPG,
Uh-huh.
and there was this character in it, and that character kind of came to life, and he was this beret-wearing super spy. It was played by Dabny Colemen, and they have an adventure together. And I remember it moving me to tears at the end, but then again, I was like, I don't know, 8. So, I used to cry over I cry over things more then than I do now, but I used to cry a lot more often. And that
You
was one
were
of the
an
things I cried
expressive
over.
child, right?
Apparently.
Well, that's a good thing. Shows that you're more human than most.
I was also always the bad guy at Halloween. Like, a lot of kids dressed up like He-Man. I dressed up like Skeletor.
I mean, look at that skull. Why not? It's
I know,
Halloween.
right?
You're supposed to intimidate.
And this noggin begs to be wrapped in purple hoods and a big yellow skull face. But yeah, if you ever have your hankering for like 80s family adventure movies, check out Cloak and Dagger. It's a good one.
I'll definitely have to plan that out for a movie night.
And of course, the Cloak and Dagger in Marvel Comics is the guy who can teleport people through, and like he has like a void in his cloak.
He's basically a dimensional rift, right?
Yeah, that's Cloak, and Dagger, who's the girl, can manipulate light and like weaponize it. So it's sort of like,
she sounds really scary.
yeah,
Weaponized cloak.
weaponize the light with the.
Right.
Oh. To Wabahoo. But yeah, so was there any other like you said that there was a lot of preparation and a long road to the engagement itself. Were there any snags along the way?
Yeah, there were a number of snags. I mean, there was the one where basically I couldn't really work up the nerve to actually ask her father for permission first, and that was all the way back during the Christmas holiday.
Right.
So that took a lot of preparation, but the biggest snag that really, really threw me for a loop was when I ended up losing the ring.
That's kind of important, the ring, right there.
Oh yeah, especially since I went and bought it back in November. So
Did you find it?
I did. So the story goes that basically I had the ring in my pocket because I was going back to the store from which I bought it to place an order for a smaller size. So what happened was I had the ring, I had the receipt and everything, and after the transaction was all well and said, basically the jeweler told me, hold on to that ring so that way you have something to present, because this custom ring that you ordered is not going to be ready until like way down the line. So I ended up holding on to it. But then I get a phone call from my fiance, well, then girlfriend, to hang out with her and her family. I didn't think twice about this, so I ended up going, and it wasn't until I was at her door that I realized I still had the ring in my pocket. It was not in the box, so it wasn't jutting out or obvious, but
Right.
I was starting to sweat bullets at this point because I was thinking like, oh crap, at any point, if it slips out of my pocket, the cat's out of the bag. So I was, pretty much as cautious as I could be, but about halfway into the night, I felt through my pocket one more time, and I realized that the ring was gone. And I was completely just shocked at that point, and I went completely ghost white. My girlfriend turned to me and said, "Hey, are you okay? You look like you just seen a ghost." And I just turned to her, and I simply said, like, yeah, I just, crazy thing. I just had like this really, really bad chill up my spine. I'm going to go back over to the living room to sit down for a bit. Can you make me some tea and be a dear? And she didn't really, she didn't really question it, but she gave me like a look like, okay, that's just kind of the blue. But I was working a lot during that time, so she just assumed that it was because of that. So while she was distracted making tea, I went back, furiously tearing through the couch, trying to find this ring, and lo and behold, when I look to the opposite end of the living room, I see one of her cats with something in its mouth.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, no.
So basically, I just look at the cat, and out of the three that she owns, the oldest one, the fat one, and the skittish one, it ended up being in the mouth of the skittish one, the one that runs when, a guy, specifically men, look at her. I don't know what it is, but this cat just does not like men in general. Warms up wonderfully with women, but hates men. So I look at the cat just gives me like a very wide-eyed open look, and just as soon as she tries to turn her head towards one direction, I kind of give like a little fake movement towards that direction. She stops dead in her tracks, And, it's just a standoff between me and the cat. Her father pretty much walks in, and he's like, what the heck are you doing? And then he sees the cat with the ring, so he starts making his way down. She jumps up, and when she got up in the air, the ring fell out of her mouth and fell into the couch. So the cat was gone by this point, and I saw where the ring landed, but when I reached in to try to pick it up, my girlfriend walked out from the kitchen with the tea, so basically I just sat down as quick as I could. And she's like, are you okay? You look like you're running a marathon. I was like, I just need to get comfortable. And she's like, okay, just hit the recliner. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't need to hit the recliner. And she's like, she sets the tea down, goes over to me, and she actually just flips the switch on the recliner, forcing the legs to kick up.
Sorry.
And basically, I'm just sitting there like, oh crap, where's the ring? So I literally put my hand to my side, and she's like, what, you're looking for your phone? Yeah, I pull out my phone instead. And I just ask her, could you do me a favor? Do you still have some donuts in the kitchen? Can I have that with the tea? And she's like, yeah, okay. So she goes. I put the phone, I literally tossed it towards the coffee table once she was in the kitchen, and I ran my fingers and my hand all the way down past the cushion and into the mechanism of the recliner, and I actually felt the ring on top of one of the hinges about ready to fall off. I grabbed that sucker and I shoved it as deep into my pocket as possible.
Oh,
and when everything was said and done, I was able to escape with the ring, but that was by far the most hectic situation I've ever had happen during this whole planning procedure.
only you, man. That would only happen to you. You realize this, right?
Well, I lived through many a crazy story.
At least the cat found it.
Yes, I have to give Kita the really, really big round of applause for that. Because otherwise I think I probably would have lost it permanently at that point.
Or waited about 24 hours.
Ugh.
Yeah, that would have been very good. But
that's a pretty big stone, too. She probably wouldn't feel that comfortable.
Yikes. Craig, did anything like that happen with you?
No, not even a little.
Oh.
No. Nope.
It was the part where it was the big day and we all got suited up and were ready to go and made it out the door and you forgot the rings. That's so had to before the door even closes, like, son of a bitch, and turns around. Now the thing is with Craig though, Craig always keeps his composure, whatever. It's just anytime I've ever seen a stressful situation, the one person who is like the Spock to my Kirk is always Craig.
Unless I'm driving.
Unless he's driving. Then all bets are off. Everybody's a whore. There's a lot of yelling at the windshield.
So he turns to Sulu?
At the windshield.
At the windshield. Maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
Really? More like Scotty on a rampage. But yeah, he's normally very, very keep it together. And, I've lost my shit plenty of times, and he's the one who always calls me down. But there's just one moment where he's just like...
Roles reversed.
It's just like, it's like, oh, okay, and he's talking, and he's like, it's like, yeah, everything's fine. We walk out of the room, it's like, like 5 or 6 of us, actually, I think about like 7 or 8 of us, walk out of the room, and it's just like, he's just talking, and he's like, son of a bitch, forgot the ring! Ran back. Like, we gotta keep our eye on him today.
Well, at least he remembered.
At least we were still there.
Yeah.
Didn't have to go back.
I don't even think the last guy had left the room.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think there were still people in there.
That was fun, though. That was really nice. But yeah, great. So I was like, no lie, dude. I was watching that Twitter feed, like, come on, come on, come on, stay on target, stay on target.
Yeah, I'm sorry it took so long, that late into the night, but there was a whole situation that ended up happening before the party even started, which made me later in picking her up to actually get to the venue.
Hey, man. Some of the best things have obstacles in front of them, and overcoming them makes the achievement that much greater. So.
Yeah, very true. Especially when you're trying to corral as many Brazilians into one place from my side of the family, and they decide to show up maybe about 2 minutes before the venue was actually supposed to open officially.
See, I wasn't gonna say anything, but.
Oh no, I'll
like
proudly
a weird
say
opening
it.
to a joke.
Yeah.
So 50 Brazilians walk into a bar.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what I call a family reunion.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. So.
But yeah, basically they all showed up late, and I had to make up some excuse as to why I was picking her up half an hour late, as opposed to only 10 minutes late. And I basically told her a half-truth, saying that I have to get up and say a speech in place of someone else, and I spent the time writing something as quickly as I could. So she pretty much forgave that, but because we were so late, and she hates being late to functions, it was a very awkward car ride.
Well, at least things got better by the end of the night.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you just gotta Gandalf it sometimes. You know, the next time
Yep.
it happens, it's just us say, a Brazilian is never late. He arrives exactly when he wishes to.
50
So.
Brazilians go to an event.
None of them are late because they're all wizards. I don't know. Anyway.
Have you ever had cachaça? That is liquid magic, my friend.
What is cachaça? This sounds amazing to me.
Brazilian-style rum.
Oh,
This sounds amazing to Craig.
Charlie's like,
How do you spell this?
You know, you
Yeah,
would have to
it's,
throw in some odd squiggles into it, but
those umlauts and those other
oh
ones.
god, I don't remember now. Cachaça.
Start with a QU, I think. Maybe.
No, it starts with
No?
a C.
All right.
Cacha. C with a weird squiggle underneath it, and I think an AE.
Fair enough.
Let's
Go on. What is this? What is this business you speak of?
Oh, trust me, everyone just becomes that much more attuned to the spirits around them.
Wow.
damn.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. It's one of those kind of rums.
Yes, a very, very strong, a very, very potent spirit. It is.
Yes.
And to be honest, it's kind of funny that the family hometown down in Brazil is actually a pretty good maker of it.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's very cool. Wow. That sounds like you guys had a very good time then.
Oh, yeah.
Well, big congratulations to you, man. And Heather also had something to celebrate, or maybe not even celebrate, but she went to a parade, regardless of whether she wanted to or not. What went on with you there, buddy?
Regardless if I wanted to or not. I didn't
Regardless if you wanted to or not. Damn it all, I'm not. I don't want to go to this parade, but.
Well, as probably none of you know, because I don't know how much you know in football, but Denver won the Super Bowl.
All right.
Woo!
First time in 17 years.
Mhm.
People were quite excited, so they had a parade downtown on Tuesday. And I got to go stand in the windows of a bank and watch it.
The windows
Very
of a
cool.
bank.
Yeah, since I work down there, that's the bank my job uses, and so I'm there mostly every day. And my mom usually goes there mostly every day, and she's been working at the job for a very long time, so we know them pretty well, and so we're like, can we can we come hide in your office while the parade's happening so we don't have to go stand out with people? Like, yeah, come on in.
Because God, do I
So-
love a parade, but boy, do I hate all those people.
It's true. Lots of people.
See, with me, it's the confetti.
Didn't have confetti.
It's
Yeah, you like the confetti or you don't like the confetti?
Well, what about lighting the confetti? Oh,
You
that
like the
actually makes
confetti?
sense.
Like.
oh,
Oh, like. Oh, suddenly things got more interesting.
gonna say. Woo.
I understood you, Craig.
Thanks.
I thought I did.
I thought I knew what you were about.
Fire Fetty.
That'd be intense. I definitely wouldn't be able to be outside.
I gotta say though, it's interesting that they say that the Broncos won the Super Bowl. Well, I watched some of the Super Bowl, and for what I could see, the Broncos were the only team playing on the Super Bowl because Carolina was just so shitty that night. God,
They didn't do nearly as bad as we did.
I mean,
It was just not a great game and overall.
it wasn't really
They were an
entertaining.
embarrassment to the NFC.
Wow.
They fought for it. They're a newish team.
It's just, I like entertaining games. I like even games, a game that's neck and neck, and, it's just no fun watching one team
Slaughter.
completely slaughter another team, But, ran into a gentleman at the train station the other day who was convinced the Raiders are going next year, so go team.
Because they're changing. Is it because they're changing home cities?
I'm not entirely sure. Are they going back to LA?
They're going to San Diego, I
I
think.
think so.
Wow. Are they going to San Diego or?
No, I think they want to
Yeah.
go to LA.
Yeah. Well,
They don't want
guess
to.
I'm not
It's
a
not-
Raiders
not
fan
their-
anymore.
It's not their choice, to be fair.
Oh. Oakland lost all its teeth when it went to LA as far as the Raiders went, and then they went back to Oakland, and although they never won anything, hot damn if it wasn't just good old-fashioned football again. Now they're going back to LA. I don't know if I like that idea. My God, we've talked more about sports in this past 5 minutes when you did the entire 3 years we've had this podcast
Hey,
going.
people could
I
be
think
interested
so.
in sports. It's okay.
Oh, I know. No, that's fine.
It's really funny being friends with a bunch of nerds though, because some people are like, "Ew, like, oh my God, sports is happening this morning. There's so much sports ball, blah blah blah." I'm sorry, guys, calm down. It's okay.
Yeah, we saw your
You don't-
cartoon that you posted.
I was getting annoyed because people go on late. Person's like they're like they're like, maybe for Lent starts tomorrow, maybe for Lent people can give up talking about the Broncos for 40 days. It's like they haven't won a Super
come
Bowl
on.
in 17 years. Calm yourself.
Right? 17 years. I mean, no, that's something to celebrate. No, it's
Yeah.
absolutely, and I guess I get more subjected to sports in this team because, Craig, likes sports and watches sports, and once a year, George will talk about sports a lot because soccer season, and then, I'll
Very true.
and when I talk to Dave a lot, and Dave loves football, Dave loves baseball, so so I'm surrounded by it.
I was watching the Broncos parade. I'm not gonna lie, to you have no idea who any of them were, but they were
Oh,
super
yeah, I know.
excited, and it was adorable to watch because they were so happy just to be there.
Exactly. It's just being part of something like that. It's just
Yeah.
So yeah, well, I wasn't even really entertained that much by the commercials this year.
No, they sucked. I like
They
the Civil
really
War
did.
commercial, but that's about it.
There was no puppy horse commercial getting along well.
No,
Because
Budweiser
believe
made a
you me.
serious commercial.
Budweiser
right?
didn't make us cry this time.
I was balling last year, let me tell
I know.
you.
I was unprepared for that.
That little puppy, and the horses showed up. Oh my God. Thinking about it, I'm going to start crying. My God.
That was one of the most depressing. I was like, okay.
That, of course, Thank God I didn't. Okay, thank God I didn't stop smoking until after that. Because hell, I cried at the end of Spider-Man 2. And at Frozen. And if I had
that's
seen
Spider-Man
that puppy,
2. I thought you meant the old one, and I was really
no,
confused.
amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, that one made more sense.
And
Slightly confused.
And if I had seen the puppy horse commercial, wah, it would have been bad.
What about the one where the guy goes out and like leaves the dog home, and then he doesn't come back? And in the morning he actually comes back, and he's like, yeah, I slept over the house, boy, because I didn't want to drive drunk. And it was supposed to be like, don't drive drunk, so you could lose your best friend. So they're going like, oh my god, I thought they were gonna kill the guy off, and I was unprepared.
Meanwhile, the dog is losing its shit.
Meanwhile, the dog's just by itself staring at the door.
Yeah, yeah. I thought they were going in a different direction with that one as well.
I know. I was like, oh, thank God. I was like, don't put me through this. I don't drink and drive. I didn't do anything.
Well, it also opened up a rabbit hole of different like things online, like looking up different commercials. And I saw one that I'd never seen before. I don't know if it was a Super Bowl commercial or if it was for something overseas or for a hotel or whatever. But there was a very attractive woman sitting at a hotel bar, and she was just like looking through her laptop and everything. And a guy's kind of like looking at her and, trying to flirt with her, but she's working. Looks like a professional woman. And he walks over and like puts his arm like around her on the table and puts his room key down and it says like 808 on it. Then he like walks away and she looks at the key and she finishes up her work and she's about to leave, but she looks down at the key and she picks it up and she's looking at it. And there's she walks over to an older, little disheveled, a bit frumpy, as they would say, gentleman, late 50s, balding, sitting at the bar, and she kind of like looks next to him, and she puts the room key down, touches his hand, and walks away, and his face lights up, and he goes to the elevator, and he's holding the key that says 808, and the dude who originally put it down is in the elevator as well, and the last thing, it's really good filmmaking, because the last thing as the door closes, you see him like turn and look at the guy and see the key, and look back, and then do a quick double take. Just as the door's closing, so it's really subtle and yet it's really powerful at the same time.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw that one and I'm like, ha!
I didn't see that one, but
He's gonna have sex with that old guy.
No.
He has to now.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. It's canon.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
The key matches.
Oh.
That Craig got that.
In the parlance of hotel bar. Wow. But yeah, I can't even think of a single standout commercial this year.
The only one I liked that I didn't hear the words to because everyone was still doing pre-game stuff. The Civil War. But it looked cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Civil War there. Don't think it looks too cool for Craig though.
The which one?
The Captain America Civil War.
Oh, right, yeah. No.
With yet another close-up of Iron Man taking the face mask off Brody from Mallrats.
I was sitting here like, who the hell is Brody?
Takes off the face mask. Sweet fucking Christ, will you knock it off? Anyway.
Why does he not like that? Does he not like Rhodey?
No, he really likes Rhodey. War Machine is one of his favorite characters.
Yeah. Apparently he's going to be a big part of the movie, which I'm going to guess they're going to kill him to make Iron Man want to beat up Captain America. That's my guess. Apparently War Machine has a big role in this movie, and I'm going to assume that's it.
I don't know. I don't think they'd kill him off.
Oh, they will.
It's Don Cheadle, man.
Yeah, exactly. That's
It's Don Cheadle, man.
All
He's Captain Planet.
He is Captain.
He'll turn you into a fucking tree. If anybody hasn't seen that, please check out the Don Cheadle's Captain Planet. It's one of the funniest things you will ever see.
Use headphones.
Use headphones. You don't want to. Yeah, don't want the kids hearing that one.
Did you like Rhodey more when he was the other guy, or better as Don Cheadle?
Oh, that's a good question.
Forgot the other guy's name. My brain wants to say Terrence, but
Terrence Howard. Yeah, you're right.
I was right.
Terrence Howard.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like both of them, so it doesn't. And they have armor on, so.
That's fair.
But when the armor's off.
I'm gonna have to go with Don Cheadle just on the general principle that we've seen more of him.
Yeah, because Terrence Howard really wasn't in the other one that much as himself. Yeah. He learned a big lesson in that movie.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he learned a big lesson.
Don't threaten Hollywood.
Yeah.
Don't complain about your check.
He had to complain about it hard though, because.
Yeah, he actually said he learned a life lesson from that because he's had to start his career over.
Yeah.
Well, he's doing pretty well with Empire though.
Yeah, now he's back in Empire, but
yeah.
That's
he's getting a lot of rave reviews for that show, so.
But he had to go do Hallmark movies.
Yeah. That's your punishment.
Yeah.
Ask for him for as much money as the lead guy. Ask for Robert Downey Jr. cash, and you have to do Hallmark movies.
Which would make more sense in the newer movies, but he wasn't in the first one as much as Robert Downey.
He was probably in it for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe.
If that.
So it's kind of silly.
Is that before or after final edit?
Oh, I've never seen the deleted scenes or anything from Iron Man.
Yeah.
So.
No, me either. I don't think it was that much. He wasn't that much. He was more of a background character.
Yeah.
It was more of an introduction to some of all that War Machine stuff than anything else.
Yeah, but apparently he has a big role now. So
it's like how Edward Norton I'm not gonna be Hulk anymore. I'm like, how did you? Because he's like, I don't do sequels. I'm like, but you knew, you had to have known,
right?
That they're gonna do a sequel. How could you not know? You read the ending.
Well, another actor who shot himself in the foot with that shit is Hugo Weaving. He shit all over the Red Skull and Megatron. And lo and behold, Frank Welker is back doing Megatron's voice in the Michael Bay movies that make millions. And Red Skull isn't in continuity anymore. Weird, huh?
Well, we could just say he died.
He didn't like the Red Skull?
He didn't like the Red Skull.
Well, you were not supposed to like the Red Skull, but it's a character.
But he played a pretty darn good Red Skull.
He played it amazingly. But
I guess he just didn't want to be known for being a Nazi.
Jeremy Renner started complaining about how Hawkeye wasn't in the first Avengers that much because basically he was brainwashed the entire time, which is a fair complaint, and he almost fucked himself over.
Yeah. And then you get the ranch scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, what was the other character you said he didn't like?
Megatron. Because he was the voice of Megatron in the first Transformers movie.
Really loved Agent Smith, though.
Yeah. That's Sir Anderson.
Oh, is that not it? Sorry.
Oh, no. No, please. He must have loved Agent Smith to do all of those Matrix movies and to be so many people in those Matrix movies. And he still works with the Wachowskis to this day, so.
I've never seen the other ones of those. I've only seen the first one.
If you want to see something pretty amazing that the Wachowskis did, that's not Matrix related, and they get a lot of flack because of the
Surgery.
of the basic surgery, quote unquote. No, not that. No, not that. No,
What?
they get a lot of flack for Cloud Atlas
Oh.
because like there's so many different people of different races playing different races, and sometimes it's believable, sometimes it's passable, and sometimes you can tell it's a Snow White man with his eyes taped up looking like an Asian dude. And
That's weird.
yeah. And but all in all, the movie is about 3 hours long.
Holy shit.
TK and I watched it twice back to back because we watched it, saw the credits, and said, okay, was that really him? Let's watch that again. I thought it was amazing, and it's terribly underrated because, of course, the Wachowskis are always just going to be known as the Matrix people, but I'm telling you, this movie, if you ever get a chance to watch it, it's just a really fascinating, really cool story, and I think it's one of their best works. I think it's on par, if not better, than The Matrix.
Cool.
Yeah. But, tell you one thing.
Yeah.
Only one thing.
We spent awful lot of time talking about the horrible career of a certain actor last week.
Mm-hmm.
So let's bring it back to the people and give them what they want and talk about some video games. Craig, what you playing?
Could do that. Last game I played, other than collecting cats.
Right. Yes.
That's the name of it.
I was doing some more Fallout. I haven't played that in a while, so went and did that. Found the Brotherhood there. Went on their intro mission. Didn't join them yet. Thought about just offing them.
Mhm.
But,
As you do.
I figured I wasn't powerful enough for that yet, because his power armor's all like decked out, and then you get to the end of the mission, he gives you a gun. So like, all right, you can live for now. So I don't know. Can you join? Can you like join? I don't remember from the other Fallout. Can you like just keep joining factions?
I think you can keep on joining them, but it overwrites the old one.
So if I join the Brotherhood, I'm not in the Minutemen anymore.
Yeah, I think so. Then again, when I played Oblivion, I was in like 4 different guilds.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, I was like in the Fighters Guild, the Thieves Guild, and the I was in all those, and the Brotherhood of Night, or the Assassins Guild.
Damn, I don't think that's legal.
I know, right? I was head of the Assassins Guild.
Really?
Yeah. in my Oblivion game, I worked my way all the way up through the entire Brotherhood, and I was head of the Assassin's Guild. I was like, this is pretty cool.
Damn.
Yeah. But I don't know if they let you do multiple factions in Fallout.
Although I did finally find out how to assign people to things in your little town, village things.
Oh?
Yeah, the building thing is cool, but it's like really confusing when you start using it.
Right.
So to assign someone to like garden, you have to be in the building menu. So like you have all those prefab things up, and like things get highlighted. You have to go to the person, highlight them. The bottom thing changes to like command, and then you have to walk over to whatever you want them to do, and then highlight that and click command again. So it's really not straightforward. But then
they'll get you some tomatoes.
Yes. Yep. And that vendor chick's cow is still on my roof. So I don't think.
Where's she going? Nowhere.
So I don't think she's leaving anytime. I don't know if she stays there, but she's not going anywhere now. Know that much.
You have her, cow.
Yeah, he's on the roof. I can't get him down.
I got your two-headed cow. You ain't going anywhere. That is cool. Heather, are you playing anything as of late?
Just Syndicate.
You have a
Off
problem,
and on.
Heather.
Wow.
Okay. I haven't beat the game once yet, Craig.
How are you enjoying it?
I like it lots. I have fun
Yeah?
time.
Yeah, I do like it as well. Are you still doing side missions on it, or?
Yeah. I haven't started Sequence 5 yet.
No, that's good though. That's good.
Doing side missions for a certain thing.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. Is it for a certain person, Heather, or
Well, it's for Evie.
right? No. That's just who you're doing it for. Is it a specific historical figure, maybe a writer that you're doing stuff for?
Oh, I thought you were talking about yourself.
Oh,
Doing
no.
it for Charles Dickens.
You're doing Dickens stuff.
Doing Dickens stuff.
It's
About halfway through my Dickens stuff.
so funny when you say it. That was an entire podcast 2 weeks ago. You realize this, don't you?
Yes.
That was the core of the podcast. Very good, and I gotta agree. That's the game is probably the most fun I've had with Assassin's Creed games since Black Flag. I have to
Yeah.
say. Yeah.
A good game.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I did have fun in Unity with you, but
Yeah, the co-op stuff was good, but the story I think was a little lacking.
which is like it's lacking for an Assassin's Creed game. And I thought
Yeah.
it was kind of interesting that like even they themselves didn't quite put it into canon, because not did they not connect the what's his name Arno with anyone in the bloodline, but they also didn't say anything about the present day story. I thought was kind of funny because that was like basically not as important to the game series.
They left out Anna Victorian.
But and I'm one of the 3 people that actually care about the present day story, so I'm excited that's back.
There are 3 of you.
Well, I know one of them, so I'm sure there's another one out there.
I am not one of those 3.
I know.
Like,
You and a lot of people.
Just when we started up the series. Like, I sure hope it's not some of that modern day crap. Ah, shit, it's that modern
Well, it's
day
funny because I was watching the modern day crap, and at your parts in the Syndicate part, but I'm sitting there naming the people because I read all the shit about them. I'm like, oh, it's the guy from Sigma Team. Now I don't remember the
Oh,
names.
alright.
Well, that's the guy from Sigma Team who really fucked up that one time. That's why most of them are dead now, in case you're wondering.
Wow. The lore master Heather.
Yeah, you just have to tell me to buff up before because I don't remember a lot of it, but I remember general things that may or may not actually be from it, which is great.
That's cool.
But yeah, I read all the I hacked all the computers in Black Flag and stuff. So I read all this stuff and listened to all this stuff, because I like the main story.
That's cool. Are you excited about the movie?
I will be once I figure out what the hell they're doing. I know it has nothing to do with any of the games, so that's an interesting decision.
And
Which it could be good or bad.
yeah, so it's true. Mr. Fassbender said it's like the Matrix with hoods. So
Well, they're not wrong. You are in a computer.
They're not wrong.
True. That's true. That's true.
The Matrix with it. I just hope that it's him delving back into an ancestor as opposed to him being modern day Michael Fassbender looking for something and be like, whoa, you guys use swords? How about guns? Or something like that. And
Yeah.
really messing it up like that. But
Yeah. He's like
Fassbender's a great
delivery-
actor, so.
He's a pizza delivery guy and he gets stuck there.
No, that's a different game.
Nice.
That's Emily Wants to Play.
Really?
No
Oh,
one knows
that
what that
knows.
game is, so no one got my egg joint joke.
No, isn't that like a new horror game that a lot of people are playing?
Yeah, but basically, there's no really plot. There's a kind of plot line, but the beginning is basically the guy goes, "Hey, pizza!" opens the door, and the door shuts behind him. He can't get back out.
Oh,
So you're basically just a poor pizza guy stuck in this house.
Does he at least get to eat the pizza?
I would.
pizza's.
I
so
don't know if he
fucking
does, but I
delicious.
would.
And what's the objective? To just try to get out of the house?
To
or-
survive until I think 6 or something. I don't know. I haven't seen the entire game played, but there's 3 dolls you have to watch out for, and then at some point you actually have to watch out for Emily.
What the hell is this? Five Nights at Emily's or something?
It's not at all like that though. It's actually kind of cool. Because there's one puppet you can't. What's the first puppet? The first puppet is if you hear her laugh, you have to look at her until she goes away, or else when you turn, she'll start sneaking up on you, and if you don't look at her for long enough, she'll get you. And the other guy, if it's a clown, and if you hear him, you have to stand still and not move until he goes away. And they're all sound cues. And then there's a what's it called? A dummy, like a ventriloquist dummy. And he's if you hear him, you have to run out of the room you're in, which makes it really hard when the clown's around, because they're randomly generated. And so, that's basically it. And at some point you get to where Emily wants to play, and basically you're playing hide and go seek with her, and if you don't find her in the allotted time, she gets you. And then after that hour, if you have Emily and all of the dolls or toys or whatever. I haven't seen past that, so actually quite interesting. I will never play it, but it is quite interesting.
That's that sounds eerily terrifying, and I will not be playing it either. If there's one thing that I'm horrible at are those like horror games where you have to explore everything and you can't fight back at all, and you have to do a lot of hiding and running around, like specifically maybe like under the sea or something. I'm terrible
You
at
can
that
fight
thing.
back.
Oh, hey George. What you doing
Hey
over
there.
there, buddy?
Nothing.
I don't know
nothing.
why I
Just
thought
heard,
you were
Under the
referencing
Sea.
Bioshock, and now I'm less confused.
Close.
I was like, but you can fight back. I understand
Close. George, what are you playing lately?
now.
To be frank, I haven't really played much since the Friday Night Debauchery, where we did PvP in Destiny on the Xbox One.
Yep.
But I have been passing the time playing Neko Atsume. So, collecting a lot of them cats.
Them
And to be-
sweet cats.
Yeah, my fiance loves it because she's all about cats, but she's kind of confused, like, where's my fascination in all of this? And I don't know what it is. I just find some humor in it that just makes it more fun for me. So far, I'm sitting on 3,617 fish and 132 golden fish right now.
Nice.
Don't know what that means.
He has a
You're
big
not
house
alone.
with a lot of cat toys.
Oh, okay. Thanks for that, Craig.
Thank you for the clarification.
Basically, my backyard has turned into kitty Disneyland, essentially.
It's a lot of cats.
Do you use the fancy food?
Rarely, but that's only when I break out the cardboard house or the cat city scratching
Oh.
post. So
Gotcha. Mm-hmm.
the only other thing I use in excess would be the what's it called, the pyramid tent. So Ramses the Great shows up. He's a nifty little Sphinx cat. Shows up with a little pharaoh's hat and everything.
Oh, I haven't seen him yet.
Yep, he only shows up for that one item
Craig's
too. So
jealous.
Oh, really? Oh,
Uh-huh.
Good to know.
Yep.
Maybe I'll
just
buy
like
that
how
right
Bob the
now.
Cat only shows up for the city cat scratching
I
post,
gotta
and
go.
Miss Fortune only
God,
shows up for the
so-
cardboard house.
Oh.
That's very interesting. I'll be right back.
I've gotta go. do
Where'd
some
Craig go?
things unrelated. to this.
He was right here. I saw him.
Yeah, I keep missing Joe DiMaggio, the baseball.
Oh, how did you get him? Where does he
It's
visit?
He's the baseball. That's all he plays with. I keep missing him.
Okay, that's my next little pet project right there.
Pet.
But I was so
That's
happy
nice way.
finally getting Mr.
That's a good way to
Miyagi. That was an accomplishment for me.
That took a few days, didn't it?
It took 4 days, Craig. 4 days.
Holy shit.
Wow.
And not just game days, I mean full-on real-life days. Of me just literally every 5 minutes going back and forth to my phone. And there was even one occasion where, 1 minute, nothing. Next minute, I just see someone paid a visit, and I'm like, what? I checked the reward counter, and he showed up.
Oh.
But I missed him completely, and I'm like, within a span of 5 minutes, he came and went. Oh, Mr. Miyagi.
Pretty mysterious right there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And apparently he loves the log scratching post because he breaks out his katana and starts swiping at it.
Sweet Jiminy Crickets. If he had taught Daniel-san that, then
Kitty style
I think-
karate.
I think that Cobra Kai probably wouldn't have stand a chance against him. If he just had a friggin' sword.
Mm-hmm.
Sweep the leg. Yes, Sensei. Ah!
But I don't have a broom.
Oh.
So what have you been playing, Sir Charles?
Me? Oh, well.
You're not English.
There's a great many things. Well, I played. I just bought Firewatch, so I cannot wait to play that.
Ooh, I love watching fire.
This
Oh,
is
dear.
no. Well, you see, it's about basically a
Well,
down on his luck park ranger type guy who
Like
those
Cary
Park
Grant.
Ranger type guys.
yeah, or like the guy who was helping Yogi with his picnic basket. And he's exploring the park and everything, and he starts seeing strange occurrences. And someone
fire?
else is in the towers, and you have to find out who. And it's an indie game. It looks absolutely beautiful, and I can't wait to play it. It doesn't seem like it's going to be a long game, but at the same time, I'm like really, really excited to play it. For another series that I may be starting up, since my nephew Sammy does not have a next-gen system, I picked up the Naruto Shippuden Ultra Ninja Storm 4, and I'm probably going to be doing a series in that for him, since he can't play it. I'll just... No, it's not a ha-ha-ha thing, just so
Kidding.
he can see it and enjoy it, at least.
I know what you meant, but that's what it sounded like.
I know. He can't play it, so I'm going to play it. You know. So there's that. I've been playing some Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Good.
Yes. I have been covering the exclusive PlayStation 4 missions, which are the Dreadful Crimes missions, where you have to do a lot of crime scene investigation, and I really suck at it. Heather probably could have gotten it done in like a minute, but
Or like 18th century Batman.
I don't know. Did you see the
Pretty
last
much.
thing I sent you? An 8
I
minute thing
did.
took half an hour.
oh, believe you me, I did. But wait till you see some of the uncut footage of me walking past a puddle for no less than 20 minutes and not looking down and investigating it. So there's that. Um, I've been playing some Uncharted, the very first Uncharted game. And I'm going to shock you all by saying this. It has been close to, I'd say, a week that I have not played BloodBorne.
Blasphemy.
Dun,
Wow.
dun.
But I'll be playing it soon enough because both Craig and Jamie, Jamie who just got a PS4 as of late, both have BloodBorne, and we've taken it upon ourselves to... Dave and I have taken it upon ourselves to anyone who wants to play BloodBorne, we're going to play BloodBorne with them. And I gotta tell you, I'm not gonna say no if they ask about that, because I do like BloodBorne a lot. As you may have noticed from time to time, I might have mentioned it. And one other thing I've been playing, you see, there's a game I absolutely hated, that came out last year, but I did an entire playthrough of the game with Dave. And as soon as it got done, I was like, fuck this game. No more. No more with this
Real
game.
hard.
Was
Ever.
it Halo?
Okay, no. I didn't think it was possible, but I hate this game more than I hate Halo. But a dear friend of mine has started a playthrough in this game. So I am answering the call preemptively and created a brand new character so I could be on par with my friend's level to be able to go into said game if my friend needs help in this game, along with Dave, who also created a brand new character for such a purpose, just so we could help George, because George started playing Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin.
That I did.
I am, I created Chevalier, who is the halberd-wielding, cavalier, blue-haired anime berserk, style, archetype, Knights of the Hawk, dude.
Badass.
So, you did this to me, you did this. And,
Why didn't you like it?
because, well, here's the thing. The Soul series, starting with Demon Souls, Dark Souls, they were both done by the same guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so was BloodBorne. And if you look at the two first Souls game and BloodBorne, you can see amazing similarities in it, as far as quality, as far as graphics, as far as all that stuff. And he didn't do the second one. They did it without him, and it suffers a lot for it. I think because the first Souls game I seriously played was BloodBorne, because even though technically not carrying the Souls moniker, it's still essentially a From Software Souls game. And playing that first, and then where speed, dodging, and being the aggressor in combat are key when playing BloodBorne. In Dark Souls 2, it's a game of patience. It's a game of like blocking everything. It's a game of like running and getting distance and creating ranged characters all the time. Whereas BloodBorne was always like just up there and just trying to survive these horrendous beasts you're fighting. It was just a big tonal shift for me that I wasn't a big fan of the combat. And then just because essentially it was just, let's face it, a port of a last gen game on the new gen system. Some of the graphics were really nice. A lot of them were just not. It was just, to me, it was a bit on the ugly side of things. And I don't know. I just felt that if maybe I played this before I played Bloodborne, I would have had a more appreciation of it. But since I played Bloodborne first, it's just like, why? Exactly. But I'm willing to give it a try again if it means helping George out in his journey.
Which, from the first video that I've made, yeah, I'm gonna need some guidance.
I know. That's why I streamed that tutorial.
And
So-
I thank you so much for it.
Oh, not a problem at all.
You have no idea how much I've been beating my head for completely missing that one little thing that would have gotten me forward where I needed to be.
But now you know, and knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe.
Sorry, I had to do that.
No, it's all good. Hey, I did the same thing.
I have temporarily stopped playing Metal Gear Solid 5 because it's just a lot of managing in that, and I got just my head strangeness and brewing and a lot of things, so not a lot of room for tactical stuff right now. So I was playing Metal Gear Solid 5 like as my recreational game. But from time to time, I think I'm just going to do some fun streams in either that or Fallout 4, or maybe just like some grinding in Bloodborne and such. Just like, because I want to do more streams that are just like, not for a series, just like go out there and do something and just like stream for the sake of streaming and hopefully meet fans and stuff like that. So I hope to do more of that pretty soon. But yeah, that's what I'm playing.
Woo!
Lots of fun stuff.
And of course, next week we get to play that sweet Division beta again.
Oh, yes, we do.
Good game?
Oh,
The
so
Division.
good. So good. The open beta is going to be happening on the 19th. And we're going to be on the 19th playing it on the Xbox One?
Yeah, that's going to be the platform we're going to go for.
The
Since-
beta's free when it comes out on the 19th. And open to everybody. There's another wing of your home base that you can open up and upgrade. If you play the beta, there's a reward that carries over to the actual game when it comes out. And they did a lot of tweaks to both the regular game and the Dark Zone gameplay. So a lot of people are jazzed about it. And it's cool because Ubisoft listened to what people had to say, and they made the tweaks according to what it's what a beta should be used for. They listened to people's remarks, and they are releasing again to see how well of an improvement it is. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but I give Ubisoft a lot of credit for that.
This time
Because
around. Hopefully it
yes,
becomes more of
this
a
time around.
recurring thing.
Yeah. Any luck. Although Syndicate really is not that glitchy.
I'll say, they kind of listened on Syndicate.
Yeah. They really
To be
did.
fair, Unity wasn't the only glitchy game that came out at that time.
Oh no. No,
That's
no.
true. It was a series of blunders by a series of major A-list developers, and you would think that they would have any type of foresight. But
I honestly heard that the Xbox One is a bit harder to develop for than the 360 was, so it might have just been a growing pains, for lack of a
It
better
could have
word.
been. It was their first and very ambitious Assassin's Creed title for a next-gen system, and unfortunately, they really didn't learn that much from Watch Dogs. So,
I liked Watch Dogs.
Watch
I'm
Dogs
the
was
only
good.
one that liked Watch Dogs.
Yeah, you were.
I think
I
we like
have
it
it.
for the
I
simple
never- I
fact that
never
that's like the
played it.
modern Assassin's Creed at this point. You got your modern
It was
story.
fun. The guy's kind of a dick, but
I mean, well,
I'd
you would
fun
assume
time.
that anyone who would just do what he does would be.
Eddie
yeah.
McGravelthroat, yeah. You never played it, Craig?
No,
That's
I
every
have it. I have it
protagonist
for
friend.
Steam, but
Uh-huh.
or Ubisoft's whatever it's called, Uplay.
Mhm.
But it's really buggy, so I didn't get past like
Invest.
the first 10 minutes.
Wow.
I had no problems with it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
I had no problems with it. It was lots of fun, and then I had an entertaining part while I was playing because once you start playing the multiplayer, which I had a lot of fun with too, is you put it off of private. People start invading your game, and I forgot to put it on private when I went to go do my last mission.
Uh-oh.
And so I was running across the bridge that moves to the island to start the last mission, and all of a sudden the bridge moves. I'm like, I didn't do that. And I turn around, and I'm on it. It's just a bridge, and it moves, and it's like a footbridge kind of. But there's a car behind me on the bridge.
Uh-oh.
So I just sat there and shot him. And I was like, I win! Those are the most confusing things that ever happened, but I remember it fondly, and I thought it was hilarious, and then I remembered to turn off multiplayer after that.
This is not a car bridge. This is a footbridge.
I was just like, what the hell? I didn't do that. I'm on it. But I had fun with that game.
I still have it. I might one day try it out again, but
I know you don't like people invading your game, Charlie, but that's an option to not put.
oh yeah, I know with
Okay.
that game it's an option. Yes, definitely. That's another thing I didn't like about Dark Souls 2, which George, I'm sure you're gonna love. Forced PvP.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Invaders will just come into your game.
All random levels, I'm assuming.
Absolutely.
Oh, fan-freaking-tastic.
And it's so great when you actually just want to, do a video or something in it. When you're trying to, like, get a, objective done, and the same troll keeps on coming into your game and, trolling you. And it's great because I never reported so many people as I did with Dark Souls. It's amazing. Like, it's just like so many people. It's just like, and a lot of the people are just like, oh, it looks like there's not going to be the open invader option in Dark Souls 3. And that was a big blunder with BloodBorne. I hope that they don't make the mistake in Dark Souls 3. I'm sorry, shut up. Let me enjoy my game.
I say it'd be fine if you could turn that toggle it on or off, because
Yeah.
people who do like it can do it, and people who don't like it don't do it.
And that's why I like it in BloodBorne. You can ring the bell and invade people, but you can only invade people if they're welcoming invasions. You can't
They
go
have
into
to
somebody's...
know
Such
what
a
they
weird
expect.
sentence.
Exactly. And just like I mentioned with Craig, it has to be one of the fairest things I've ever seen, because if you summon someone in for a cooperator, you also open the door to if an invader wants to come in. And, it's a fair and balanced PvP system,
It's kind of like the door swings both ways kind of thing.
Right. But you have somebody on your side in case, because you've obviously summoned someone in because you need help.
Right.
So you at least have somebody with you. So if an invader comes in and you haven't found the bell ringing woman yet, you can take on the invader and then find the bell ringing woman so she can close the portal.
That's kind of an interesting mechanic.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty fascinating because you see it. Actually, you won't see it because unfortunately the data corrupted. When Dave and I were playing on one of our streams, and unfortunately, kids, sorry, BloodBorne is Funborn is already taken, so our spirits are crushed, and we don't know if we're actually doing the full series of the DLC in it. We'll see, but we fought one of the bosses. And I had summoned in Dave, and we had another cooperator who was an NPC, and we were heading towards the gate, and since we didn't find the bell ringing woman, someone came in right as we were going into the boss fight. And as long as the host goes into the boss fight, the invader just gets automatically kicked out, because that's another fair thing it does. It's like,
That's good.
okay, you're fighting a boss, okay, we can we're not going to throw this dude at you as well. But Dave was like just trying to because I was using my alt, which is a very low level character, and Dave was just trying to shove me through the fog door. It's just like, go through.
Go, 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 go.
It's like, Charlie, get through the fog door. I'm like, okay. And of course I go through and I have the half man, half horse Ludwig charging towards me. I'm like, can I go back and fight the guy who came in?
I want to fight the invader.
Please. But yeah. So it's at least a fair bit of PvP. And I kicked myself that didn't come out, that episode didn't come out right, because after we beat the boss, there's a next level, which I know that you can summon somebody into, but I wasn't able to summon Dave into it. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And I'm going through it, and I'm like, because the thing was, I mean, in the beginning of the game, you entered the DLC. At the beginning of the DLC, you enter the area, you run in, and in this cathedral, you see this giant beast holding this artifact, and you take the artifact, and it's basically a key to get into an upper cathedral. Now, the way BloodBorne works is, and it's a lot like a Souls game, if you beat a boss in an area, you can't summon somebody into that same area. So you're not continually grinding like in that area. It makes sense. But if you get close enough to a boss fight, you'll be able to, as long as there's nothing obstructing you. So, when Craig and I were trying to play BloodBorne together, we had beaten a boss, and we had gone into the next level and lit the lantern, but Craig couldn't ring his beckoning bell, and I couldn't go into his game. What essentially happened is you need 10,000 blood souls to get a key to open a gate to your right. Because that opens the gate, as soon as you get that open, it registers as, okay, this is an area that you haven't fought a boss in. However, since that area was closed off on either side, it wasn't registering that. It's like there's no way you could get to a boss, so therefore you can't cooperate with anybody. So with my alt, Dave was basically defending me through the whole thing. So I could get like better weapons and everything for my alt character. And it got to a point where, I was coming up against these two major like mini bosses, and I couldn't get him to help me and everything. And I've run back, and I'm at the lantern, and I'm just like, why can't I summon you? And he was like, man, this is making no sense. I'm like, yeah, I summoned somebody else in here before, and it's like we were able to go right up to the tower, and he's just like, did you by any chance not get the artifact from the beast? I'm like, no, I didn't. I'm too low level for that. He's like, so you didn't get the thing that unlocks the upper level? And then like one of those movies where it just like zooms in on the main person's face, and then it like goes back in rewind to the part where they should have like picked up the croissant or, put down the cup of coffee, and then they totally forget it. And I'm like, son of a bitch. So I had to like go back by myself to the beginning level at the end with these things just coming towards me all over the place. I had to like, there's a potion that renders you kind of, sort of, not really invisible. I had to like down like 3 of them just to get by most of the enemies there, and then finally this big thing comes out of the door, and of course it can see you. So I'm like running around this thing, and I run by, I actually grab the artifact, I run back to the place, and as soon as I like get back to the lantern, I walk in, and I'm like, okay, and the bell's appearing there. I'm like, Dave, come and kill these things for me.
Dave, help.
Dave! So Dave came in, and we regulated. Unfortunately, all the footage was corrupted, so thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Twitch. Jerk.
They're all jerks.
Speaking of corrupted, but not really. So
Oh,
as
this should be
everyone knows,
interesting.
well, you know the story. As everyone knows, I edited that Black Flag Let's Play. What I failed to do was use an external hard drive into the last of it, which was a very bad idea because apparently, which I know, and friends, if you should know the things that your computer needs before you use them. Macs need 10% of, or not 10%, like 1% or something like that of memory to start up. So when you fill your Mac 0.499 gigabytes out of 500 gigabytes, it don't start no more.
Oh.
Which means I tried to take it in and they tried to recover it, but they had no luck, so I just told them to wipe it. So, internet, I had to write my entire hard drive for that video. You're welcome.
Now Heather has learned to always have a backup.
My friend gave me a terabyte drive and said, use this. I was like, okay.
I'm sorry to hear that, dude.
It's okay, I still haven't found anything I've missed, so.
Well, that's good at least.
Yeah. Like I said, everything I don't do backups regularly, but most of the stuff I wanted was from college, and I had already gotten a new computer before, or when I graduated, so everything I wanted from that was on a hard drive already, so, including all my music and shit, so.
Okay.
It's just been a lot of reinstalling. It's annoying.
I did see the Assassin's Creed, the Black Flag videos that you did, and they are spectacular. And my favorite moment is coming up in episode 4, the final episode. It's Heather says
Pretty
one
sure-
thing, and it completely just made me bust out laughing. And the whole series is fantastic.
We're quite entertaining as a group.
We are quite entertaining as a group, and it's not just me talking, and I'm so happy. We have to do that more often. We have to do the Skype calling thing, and hopefully Twitch through the Xbox One will actually capture my footage. But
Maybe one day it will.
I will use
No,
my
one
terabyte
day.
drive.
One day.
she will use her territory. But until then, folks, guess what?
What?
I think it's about time we wrap things up. It's about that time.
It is. It is just like Mad Catz. That's what they're
Yep.
saying.
Oh,
What?
Madcap.
Cats. Yeah, the people that make
peripherals.
peripherals.
Horrible
and,
peripherals for
rock
systems.
bands.
Yeah.
Yeah. They laid off like 37% of their staff.
Oh, that's nice.
That was a very specific percentage.
It was. That was the headline. But yeah. So we'll see if they're around for Rock Band 5.
Fingers crossed.
Maybe if their products weren't so god awful shitty. they
I
would
know.
be.
I've only bought
Sorry.
I've only bought one of their controllers ever. Because
There's a reason for that.
it was a Bengals controller. I still have it. So.
Except for like Rock Band and Guitar Hero are kind of past their prime now, I feel. No one plays those that much anymore.
Well, they just came out with new ones of both of them,
Well, I know, that doesn't mean they're
so
popular.
they're gonna sell. Doesn't mean that they're gonna sell. It is though. It is
Randall
nice
has
though
it.
hearing.
He's pointing at himself, so I'll assume he has it.
I'm
I don't have it
happy.
because I have no friends to play it with.
That is so
I
sad.
had to finish that sentence.
That is so sad. I just like it that the kiosks are at the different places now, and I can hear Fall Out Boy.
Ooh.
Yeah. But on that note, much like Mad Catz, we're getting out of here. Like that segue? No, because it was a horrible segue. I'd like to
Segues
thank
are
Craig.
silly. They're like hoverboards.
Greg, thank you so much for helping me through these past snow-covered ice tundra days.
Well, thank you for being you.
Thank you. And thank you, Heather, for all your editing and all of your awesomeness and coming on the show tonight. We really do appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And you, over there, that guy, George, congratulations and thank you for attending tonight.
It's always a pleasure to be amongst good friends.
Outstanding. It's always a pleasure having you here. And I'd like to give a gigantic thank you to Randall, who without his hard work and dedication, none of this would be possible. And yeah, that about does it for this week. If you'd like to check out our videos, swing by youtube.com/Team DBAH to check out all of our awesomeness. We have over 400 videos there that you can check out. Various series, the podcast, everything you can think of, we have up there. So please, check out our stuff. We have a lot to show you guys, and we're pretty sure you'll like it. Remember to also click like and subscribe because there's a new video that comes out 6 days a week. So you get 6 videos a week. Quality work that we put out. Also, if you're so inclined, please swing by teamdba.com. That's our website. We've got a couple new features on there that we'd love you to check out. We have the pull list from Jake that happens every Wednesday. Didn't go up today because we were having some...
It's there now.
Oh,
it's there now.
It's there now? It's yeah.
Late.
Excellent.
Yep,
it was a little late, but it's up. It's up. Thank you. Thank you, Craig. We're trying something new with it. So it took us a little time to revamp the tech and everything, but it works now. So go check it out. The pull list that happens every Wednesday from Jake, where he tells you what comic books you should be reading each week. We have, of course, the Loot Crate review from Jamie that comes out once a month. And we have this podcast with a rotating cast of awesome people. It comes out every Thursday. It's available on Stitcher, SoundCloud, iTunes, and Player FM. So there's many ways you can check it out. We have our store over at crashfirepress.com/teamdba. It's also a link. If you hit the store, it takes you there, right on teamdba.com. And of course, if you sign up for Audible through our site, you get 2 free books as opposed to just 1. Think of the value, people. So, thanks very much, folks. We'll see you next week. I've been Charlie Danger 82, and please remember, don't be a hero. Good night.
Go see Deadpool.